Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ibikunle Balogun, and I'm the first son of Balogun. So hopefully our favor can rub off on me and we'll learn things. I'm here to talk about continuous improvement from my point of view. This is not a technical presentation by any means. I've been in the work sector for about 5 years now. I work in the investment arm of Equity Assurance PLC. It's called a subsidiary called EA Capital Management Limited. I'm going to start my presentation. I'm going to start off by defining what improvement means, which is the process of a thing moving from one state to another, from one state to a state considered to be better, usually by taking an action. And continual improvement is continually moving from one state to another state. So basically, you are ever changing if you want to continue to improve yourself. The best word I could find to describe continuous improvement was a Japanese word called kaizen. It's if you look at the slide, you can see that you can see the derivative of the word. Kai stands for change, and Zen stands for good. So it literally means do change. And the kaizen principles are very popular principles, and they're used by a lot of Fortune 500 companies to help with their innovation and their continual improvement. I'm going to talk about two different principles of Kaizen. There's the long-term commitment and there's the fact that there's no end to improvement. The long-term commitment basically talks about daily, continuous, steady growth in the long-term view. And the second point is, for you to have long-term commitment, it must be strong willingness for you to change. It has to come from within. You must realize where you are now and where you want to be and make that conscious effort to change. And long-term commitment is basically more about consistency, in the sense that it's about just taking small steps to your improvement, which in the long term adds up to huge improvements. No end to improvement. The saying goes, once you think you have arrived, that's at the beginning of your descent. When you think you're successful, when you think you have gotten to the pinnacle, when you think you're successful, and you start resting on your laurels, that's when you start to fall. There's another American saying that says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This goes against the principle of Kaizen, because you don't have to wait for something to break before you actually fix it. And so I'm going to talk about an example about a company in America called Blockbuster. I'm sure we know how we used to go to video clubs back in the day, where we used to go out and rent movies. But I mean, nowadays, there's no such thing as video clubs, because everything is online now and everything is on flash drive and things like that. So basically, Blockbuster, they were the leading firm in America when it comes to rental of movies. But they didn't invest in technology, because they didn't look into the future and know that with the new age of technology, most things are going to be done online. So instead of them to actually invest and research in these online platforms, they kept opening more and more Blockbuster stores. So obviously, they ran out of business. Firms like Netflix are one of the leading online movie stores in the world. They invested in technology early on. It's also not about, when you talk about no end to improvement, it's not about where you're coming from or where you've actually gone to. It's about this moment you're in right now, where you look around you in this moment, and when you look around in this moment and then see the lessons around you, and when you have the actual capacity and the willingness to actually learn and improve yourself. No matter how good things are, there's always room for improvements. And as you can see down there, I wrote Manchester City and Man United. I'm a football fan, so I tend to use football analogies. If you look at Manchester United, for the past 2 decades, they've been the best team in England because of one man, Sir Alex Ferguson. Sir Alex Ferguson is the epitome of continuous improvement. He never rested on any of his laurels. Year in, year out, he kept improving himself. In 1999, when he won the treble, which is like the pinnacle of club successes. The next year, he started investing in the youth development, they started buying more players, they started investing in his coaching staff, building more facilities. So he never rested on his laurels. And I look at Man City and how Man City are doing right now. Last year they won the title, it was all good, everything was fine. But they did not invest in their squad in the summer. And now Man City are struggling because they did not buy enough players, they did not improve people from their youth academies and things like that. I'm going to divide continuous improvement into two sections. It's personal improvement and professional improvements. I know the topic here is professional improvement, but I actually think personal improvement is more important than professional improvement, because you have to be, you as a person has to be well, and you have to be improving yourself before you can translate that into your profession or your career. When I'm looking at personal improvement, I'm looking at three things: the physical, the spiritual, and the social. The physical is pretty much straightforward. Your physical being as a person. You need to keep improving yourself, because your physical being is basically the base. Is your point is from your physical being that you now improve the other parts of you. So when I'm talking about physical, I'm talking about physical fitness, I'm talking about eating right, I'm talking about eating healthy and exercising. I mean, from December to now, I've lost about 15 kilograms by the grace of God. Basically because of an event that happened in my life that actually made me sit down for the first time in my life to actually meditate and reflect on my life and where I am as a person. And I looked at myself and I wasn't where I wanted to be. So literally 3 days after I realized this epiphany, I went to my gym and I paid them 6 months up front, my gym membership. I paid the personal trainer 6 months up front, because I'm an Indigenous man. So I know if I pay somebody this money, I'm definitely going to have to, I'll make sure it works. So definitely I'll be forced to go to the gym. And ever since I started that, my life has changed. Physically, I wake up earlier. It's like my eyesight has even improved. Like I'm lighter on my feet. I'm more efficient at work, and everything. Life is just better. Just if you just improve your physical self first. Forget the emotions, forget everything. Just by improving your physical self, you are taking that step to self-improvement. I mean, it started from the smallest things. Instead of drinking Fanta, Coke, and eating meat pie, instead of that, just have a drink of water. You've had breakfast, and skip lunch. I started off by just drinking water. I stopped the Fanta. I kept eating rubbish, but I stopped juice, I stopped Fanta, I stopped tea. I just started drinking water. And I found out that in my first month I lost about 4 kilos just by drinking water, and obviously you have to start doing the diets. You need to be very consistent when you're going to the gym. Just basically monitor yourself. So if you know you have made these improvements and you're backsliding, you can check yourself and improve yourself further. The second point there is the spiritual. Lately I've been getting very close to God. Before I wasn't, I was a church boy. I just went to church. I skipped sometimes, but I mean, because of some events that happened in my life, it has really brought me closer to God. And I found that has really helped me as a person. That has really improved my life. That made me cut out all the stuff that is not important. That just made me focus on where I'm going and find direction in life. The third one is the social. Basically your relationships and your friends and everything like that. Yes, I have a lot of bad friends, bad influences, but what I've realized is that I'm not going to say they're not my friends anymore, because they're my friends. I like them, I have feelings with them, friends. But I've learned to now put boundaries. Yes, they're your friends, you're going to hang out with them, you're going to do that with them, but you need to set yourself boundaries so you don't go back to the way you were, and you just keep moving forward in life. next point is the professional, and I divided it into informal and formal. Informal way of improving yourself is basically by magazines, journals. I mean, I'm an audio listener. I assimilate more when I hear than I actually read. So I've invested in audiobooks. And I mean, in Nigeria, where the traffic is plenty, you spend a lot of time in your cars. So if you just turn the book into a CD and you're just playing it in your CD, even though you're there and you're in traffic, you're still improving yourself, you're still learning a lot. Even though you're not listening, it's in your subconscious. And before you realize it, you're actually gaining a lot from listening to these audiobooks. So the audiobooks have really helped me on the personal notes. And as far as formal professional improvements, those are your seminars, like what is happening here, your courses, and basically trainings and things like that can help you improve your professional life, which is very important. And I mean, I work in an investment arm of an insurance company, but I also have we call it side hustle. I also have my own side hustle, which I actually got from where I was working. So yes, I was putting in my hours at work. I was doing everything I had to do. There's some clients. Obviously, I had personal relationship with clients, and from there, I found other opportunities in other lines, in other industries that actually helps me set up this side hustle, which is actually way better than my present job. But because in life, what my mother has told me is that you need to choose a career. You need to have a career path. Yes, everybody wants to go oil and gas. Everybody wants to have those jobs that are making you a lot of money. But you need to. I mean, the Wallington, who is the CEO of Owando PLC, he was a lawyer. That is his profession. That is what he does. That is his career. He's an oil and gas man, yes, but everybody knows him first of all as a lawyer. You need to have a profession. That I'm an investment person. So obviously, I'm doing courses. I'm doing professional exams that are going to get me that qualification to be an investment person. That is my career path. That is what I'm going to be known as. No matter what I set up, even if I want to become a fashion designer or whatever, I'm a fashion designer, but it's still going to read that I'm an investment person first. You need to develop that career because that is your base. And no matter all the other things you do in life, you can always hold on to that particular career and go and get to where you want to go. And with professional improvements, you need to reflect a lot because you don't want your improvement to be redundant. You don't want to be reading the same things. If you read the same things, you're not going to get far. Yes, you have improved yourself, but because what we're talking about here is continuous improvement. You need to have a measure. You need to have a benchmark where you need to know where you are going. You need to know that you have moved from point A to point B, from point B to point C. And that is what this reflection is about. And there are a few questions there that you can use to just know where you are in your professional development. The first one is, are you up to date? Whatever industry you're working in, their regulations, their policies, their news. I mean, if you work in the oil and gas industry, you know that oil prices have dropped. You must be well abreast of what is happening in your industry. The second one is your professional knowledge growing every day? You cannot say you're doing this job and just only do the job and just read. I mean, you have read, you have studied accounting, you have done this. You need to keep improving your professional knowledge. Like if you're an accountant, and I'm sure most accountants were used to the old reporting standards. I mean, now there's IFRS. So if you're an accountant, whether you like it or not, you have to learn IFRS. And people who studied IFRS back then are now the ones benefiting from it now, because most accountants are now forced to study IFRS anyways. The other one is, what mechanism do you have in place to ensure that you are informed of the latest developments? I mean, most of us have smartphones now. It's very easy to key into certain apps that give you notifications. Every time there's news, if you're on Bloomberg or CNN, you get different notifications when there's breaking news, when there's all price change, all these kind of things. If you're joining newsletters, if you're subscribing to different emails, websites, they send you information every day. So at least, even if you're not making a physical effort of trying to know all these things, you're getting it on your phone and it's helping you out. The next one is that are you investing 5% of your salary for professional developments? I mean, Nigerian salaries are very small. 5% is not much, but it can. If you just put 5% of your monthly income aside and say you buy a book, you buy an audio book, you register for one seminar, you do this, you do that, you find that it is a way to actually make sure you're improving yourself every single month, because that money will be set aside and you'll be using that money to improve yourself. Are you spending 10 days or equivalent in professional development activities each year? This is basically your trainings and your seminars and stuff like that. What is your current special interest subject? Topic you are investigating, researching on a consistent basis. I found that no matter what job you're doing, you can always have something that you like, something that interests you apart from your job, that you research and you want to know more about. And if you have that, it can help you improve yourself professionally. Discipline. When it comes to personal improvement, continuous improvement, professional, all those things, the key word there is discipline. Discipline in life, I think, is one of the most important things if you want to live a very successful, peaceful, calm life. Because like back in the day, when I say back in the day, I mean like a couple of years ago, I've never really been a disciplined person. I've always thought, I just do things as they come, and as I said, some things happened in my life that made me sit back and reflect. And some things that I thought I could never do, I'm actually doing them now. Because that discipline has been instilled in me now. And basically, discipline is just giving yourself rules and regulations that you have to follow. And if you follow those, if you try your best to follow those rules and regulations that you have set for yourself, you find that every other thing just falls into place. You just need to constantly work on yourself and discipline yourself to make sure you reach where you need to reach. There are 5 things that help you gain self-discipline. There's removing temptations, there's eating regularly and healthy, don't wait for it to feel right, schedule breaks and food, and rewards for yourself. Forgive yourself and move forward. Remove temptations, that is self-explanatory. If you're trying to lose weight, you can't be eating meat pie and drinking Fanta. When I was here, I actually wanted a Fanta and a meat pie, but I told myself that I'm speaking about self-discipline. So what kind of example would I set I'm just going to have a water after. Eating regularly and healthily. Studies have shown that if you eat regularly, if you are not hungry and you are eating healthy, you actually improve your resolve to your temptations. It helps you, all those distractions, all those things that make you fall back to your old self. By just actually eating healthy and eating regularly, it helps you it gives you more power to resist all these temptations. And if you're hungry, you're not going to care. You're not going to really care about anything. You're just going to be grumpy. You're just going to be doing anything that you're going to act on impulse. You're going to act on emotion. When you're hungry, don't wait for it to feel right. This is basically talking about your comfort zone. Because you're used to doing things a certain way, and you want to now make yourself better. You want to improve yourself. You're waiting for it. It doesn't feel right because what you're trying to now practice is not you. It has not been in your making. It's a new thing. But what it's saying here is that you don't have to wait for that time. You just have to jump into it. As I said, small improvements eventually lead up to greater improvements. You just need to start. Schedule breaks, treats, and reward yourself. You reward yourself with stuff. If studies have also shown that if you say you want to lose weight, for example, and you just say, okay, I'm not going to eat anything. I'm only going to eat vegetables and I'm going to drink water. You are going to fail. There's no way you can just stop everything cold turkey. You need to gradually take things out so you get comfortable so that it can be sustainable. And you reward yourself. So even if you're on a diet, you choose that, okay, today when I go to so and so's wedding, I'll have some small jobs, and I even have some business, you know. And the last point is forgive yourself and move forward. As human beings, we're always going to slip up, we're always going to disappoint ourselves. You're going to set out on some particular path, you're going to set out on a particular goal, and sometimes you're going to fall short, sometimes you're going to fail. You cannot keep thinking about that failure. You cannot get frustrated. You just need to look at the situation, know what happened, know what went wrong, and move forward. You need to forgive yourself as soon as you can and start moving forward. But if you wallow in yourself, you're not going to be stagnated and you're not going to move forward. I have one small illustration here. A friend of mine was just speaking randomly a week ago, and he just told me something. He said, the thoughts that you have in your mind eventually turns into your actions. Your actions eventually turn into your habits, and your habits eventually turn into your behavior, and that's your behavior that finally determines your destiny. So basically what he was trying to say was that your thoughts define your destiny. How you think now, those first steps you are taking, your thinking is what is going to determine where you end up in life. My ending remarks, there's a saying that one of my pastors said during one of the sermons, and it just really hits me. He said, for there to be life change, there has to be heart change. You need to make that decision yourself that you're going to change and you're going to become better. Your heart must change. You must be willing to take that step. You must have a strong conviction that you want to stop all the stuff you have been doing before, and you want to move on to a better life. So for there to be life change, there needs to be heart change. But it doesn't stop there. The proof of a changed heart is a changed life. It must reflect in your life. Yes, you have a changed heart. Yes, I want to change. I want to eat less. I want to read more books. I want to go to more networking events. I want to do this. I want to do that. You have to do it. Your life, the habits that you used to do before, you cannot do anymore. Your life has to be changed. And anyone who is close to you and anyone who is around you will see that if your heart has really changed, your life will definitely change. Every journey starts with a single step. No matter what the step is. As I said, I started by drinking only water. Still eating the rubbish. I wasn't going to the gym. I wasn't doing anything. But I made the first step. I said, I don't want to be overweight anymore. I want to look good. I want to be fit. I want to be in top physical condition. And I started off with that small step of just drinking water. So every journey starts with a single step. And you just have to keep moving forward in life. Thank you.
To work again. I don't have to work again. I wasn't going to tell you that he was my son, but he said no, he's going to say it. Right? A round of applause. A rushing round of applause. And what is interesting is that this isn't just a PowerPoint presentation. This is actually what he has gone through, in the last few months. So are there any questions for him? Are there any questions for him? No question. You have a question? Please come and ask it. He's the only one who hasn't used the word passion, but he actually said what you like to do. So that is a simplified form of passion, because I know some people will say, what is even this passion they're talking about? Yes.
Good day, everyone. First, I'll say great presentation. I actually came to this program because you talked about fitness. Yes. And I actually like it when people make this kind of decisions. I'm not a lifestyle consultant. So. Now, having said that, I have a question for you. First, it took an event in your life. I had this the temptation to ask what the event is, because I kept saying it. So it took an event in your life to change. And then we keep hearing it doesn't have to be broken for you to fix it. How else do you think you'll get us to have this kind of great change without that event, without that breaking, without, you understand what I'm trying to say?
Honestly, my mom said I'm still young, I'm still below 30. Prior to the event that happened in my life, I'm not going to explain what happened. But prior to that event, there was nothing anyone could tell me I could have attended. 30 seminars like this are not changed. That event was a catalyst in my life, and the only advice I can give you is that you just learn from other people's experiences. My mom has been telling me to do this, this is the right way, this is the right way. Personally, I learn best from experience. So it had to happen to me, and I had to reach that bottom before I realized that I had to change my life. So as far the only advice I can give you is just to basically learn from other people's experiences. It's very hard because it's not happening to you at the time. You don't understand the feeling. You don't know that it doesn't hit you the same way it's hitting other people. But trust me, you don't want it to happen to you because it's unpleasant. It's really unpleasant.
Hello? But you know what the Bible says? It says that we should count it all joy when we fall into diverse temptations, because it teaches us, it worketh patience for us. So sometimes you need something to catalyze you. But the truth about it is that, and I think that's where continuous improvement comes. It's so funny because I made that same statement when I came to talk at Jayville on Sunday, that before, if it's not broken, don't fix it, is what we used to say. But now we're saying that you need to continue to fix it. Don't wait until it is broken. And even though, he may say that, he could have attended so many seminars, what I would like to advise everybody is that don't wait until it is broken. Because when you wait until it is broken, what you need to do may be a lot more than if you have been improving it from time to time. Please, another round of applause.
Thank you very much.